So hello guys, welcome to episode 24 of our FM24 manager journey. Now, in the last episode, if you didn't watch it, go back and watch it because we kicked off the new season and we kicked it off in style, and it must be said, we followed that style up. Just have a quick look at the schedule. We kicked off against Newport County, we beat them 4-3, then we beat Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup, which has led to the game you're about to see first here on today's episode away at Leicester City. We drew with Tranmere, and then we've just beat Grimsby 3-0 and beat Fleetwood 2-0. We've just kept 3 clean sheets on the bounce. We're now starting to be able to defend, which is lovely to see. We obviously play Premier League Leicester City, who are currently 7th in the Premier League, doing very, very well under Enzo Maresca, as I just decided to put every screen up on the screen. But yeah, currently in the Europa League, Europa Conference League places, so doing okay. Harvey Barnes is having a stormer. So we're going to split this into two today, as we normally do, but we're going to play Leicester now, and then we're going to come back towards the end of October, whether it's Doncaster or Barrow. One of those 2 games we'll come back for in the second part, and Lewis from the future will sort that out. But Lewis from right now has got to go to a Premier League team and try and get around to the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup. And this is a team that we are going to be starting with. It's our cup keeper extraordinaire, Luke Campbell in goal. A back 4 of Waldron, Chaplin, Hull and Tatonda. Must be said, McClellan's just picked up an injury, and Kingsley Williams has as well, so he's struggling at the bit. Kingsley Wellings, sorry, I've not learnt his name yet because he's hardly played. Wadham will be playing in the defensive midfield role. It's Marsh and Berry as the 2 attacking midfielders. Moylan, Jake Moylan, I spoke about the Irish winger in the last episode. This is the man, determination off the ball. He's got the lot. Has Jack Moylan. I'm hoping he's going to show he's got the lot today away at Leicester. McKamer on the left-hand side has been superb so far. He's got 2 goals in 4 games. He's looking at the business on that left-hand side. And, of course, Michael Smith is starting up front. We are playing practically a full-strength team today. We've got a few changes on the bench. I do need to address 2 new signings. One is Jesse Derry, a winger in on loan from Crystal Palace. We're excited to have him here. He's got some pace as this man, agility, acceleration. Excited about him. And a familiar face, Andre Brooks. We've managed to get him in. We've bought him for £100,000. The first player that I've actually bought this season. In fact, on this series, I think the first player that I've bought. We've paid good money for him. He is a player that can be a championship player in the future, or at least a good League One player. So we're excited to have Andre Brooks, and he gives us a bit more cover in the midfield areas. So that's bring you up to date with signings. Let's go to the King Power. Andre Brooks can have the number 24 shirt. Let's go to the King Power and see if we can cause another upset. We've beaten Sheffield United. It looks like he's weakened his team a little bit, I would suggest. Luke Thomas at left back is certainly an area where we should be looking to exploit. But you've got to fancy us. I've been really impressed with how we've kicked off this season. We've been playing this 4-3-3. We don't seem to be conceding. Oh my God, has he got Sanderberg? Sanderberg, he's playing for Leicester. Well, how did he get there? He signed for Aston Villa on here. And then 13 million to Leicester. So Sanderberg playing for Leicester. Sanderberg's a player I really do like. That's why I'm a little bit excited. I wish you weren't playing against us. Maybe we can get him towards the end of his career in this episode, in this series. But it is Leicester coming forward straight away. And it is going to be Bonanotte. And maybe he's just said goodnight to us as well. It's 10 minutes in and Leicester do take the lead. It's a little bit frustrating. These are probably a cut above Sheffield United in terms of where they are in the league at this moment in time. The plan was to stay in it, and that plan doesn't seem to be working at the moment as Sanderberg has it down the left-hand side. More defending to do, and Leicester are now 2-0 up, and Leicester don't seem to be in the charitable mood, let's say, early doors here. It's disappointing how we've conceded there. We're just going to try and play for set pieces. Let's try and get ourselves in the game a little bit. I wanted to come and play our style and play what served as well so far. That is a very close free kick on the edge of the box. It's going to be Moda to hit it. Top right-hand corner. This could be a rout. Leicester 3, Scunthorpe 0. Oh dear, oh dear. You couldn't see this result coming. Well, you could. They're a Premier League side. They're playing a League 2 side. You could see this result coming. But at this moment in time, I mean, the expected goals is not exactly flattering us. Flattering them. It's only 0.5 expected goals. Read into that what you will. Maybe we will come back into this But at this moment, it looks like it is all Leicester as they come forward again. Tatonda does exceptionally well to win that. Now Jake Hull. Now Tatonda again. There is an option down this left-hand side to spring a counter-attack as Jake Hull goes for that ball. And it's into McKermer, but he can't quite get there. Tanganga beats him to it twice, but on the third occasion, McKermer gets it. And that is an interesting ball that he's just played forward, McKermer. He is a big lad on the left wing. We've got him there for a particular reason, but Adam Berry does win that back well. Look, Leicester's set about as he really does. If we can get one back, he does try to take on his man McKermer. He puts the cross in. There is Moylan, and Jack Moylan, the winger, the Irish winger we've spoke about, gets a goal back at Leicester, and that is probably the other way around to what we would expect that move to come into. It was lovely work from Berry and McKermer down the left-hand side, and then could the big man get the ball in? He took a touch, whipped it into the back stick. Probably, I'm guessing Louis Morse just caused a bit of grief, but Jack Moylan gets his first goal for Scunthorpe United, and it's brought us back into the tie here at the King Power as we tick up towards half-time. Marsh is struggling a bit, as is Berry. We will make some changes. Let's see if we can just... I want to see a much better display. I certainly do, because I think we are capable of getting back into this. Ben Elliott is going to come on. Adam Berry's doing okay. I don't want to take him off just yet. Michael Smith is a player that I'm looking at taking off. I think we bring Adi Koya on. We'll give Michael Smith another 10 minutes, and then we will go from there. Tatonda's not having the best game, but second half, we might just come into this a little bit. Their midfield three, it must be said, he's beating our midfield three at the minute, which you would expect. But we have converted the only chance of the game that we've had. So as we tick up towards 60 minutes, it's at what point do we decide we're going for it? And I think if we get to 70, that is the time to chuck two forwards on and let's have a bit of a go at it. So here we go then. We did this in the last Carabao Cup game. We're going to do it again. So Adi Koya is going to come on, as is Connor Wickham. They're just going to swap. We're going to have Adi Koya as an advance forward. Connor Wickham's going to be a pressing forward. That all seems to work. I think bringing on a midfielder would be lovely at this point. So we're going to bring on Andre Brooks as a deep line playmaker. And I think we're going to leave on McKermer. We're going to go a little bit more direct. Not too much, but I think that should do it. And we will go positive. I think that should do us. Let's see. Last time we changed to a 4-4-2, it worked for us in the Cup. I mean, they are a much better side than we are. As Luke Thomas will take this corner. It's whipped in and conceding from a corner, I'm never particularly happy with, but Tanganga did rise up very, very well there, it must be said. It's 4-1 now to Leicester, and that may be all she wrote. And to be fair, that might be time to start looking at possibly resting a couple of players, but at the moment, there's nobody on the bench I'm that fussed with taking off. Well, we've come to a Premier League side. I don't think we've massively disgraced ourselves. As Adi Koya now looks to come forward down the right-hand side into Moylan. Moylan will run at the defender. He does like to do this, does Moylan? Can he get across? And he certainly can. There is Adi Koya. Oh, and he should. He should have got the goal there, Adi Koya. It's a good effort from Moylan down the right-hand side. We've not disgraced ourselves. We've looked in this. I know I'm saying that at 4-1 down, but let's take the positives out of this. There wasn't that big a difference on the expected goals. Their quality has shown through. I'm proud of the efforts, although it wasn't to be. So that is that. We're out of the Carabao Cup. We have got an injury to Ben Elliott, which is fair enough. So yeah, we're going to play on a bit now, continue where we are in the league. We're currently, second in the league. We've won 3 out of his first 4 games. Let's see where we are when we get to the end of October. And as we draw to the end of October, it must be said we are doing rather well. Just to bring you up to date with the schedule, since you last saw us against Sheffield United, we've been against Leicester, we've been absolutely fantastic. Winning 2-0. We've just been winning more than we're losing. We had a little bit of a blip here. We lost 1-0 to Cambridge, which was totally undeserved. And then went away to top of the league, Cheltenham, at that point and lost 3-2. Had a very bad start to the game, but pulled ourselves back into it. But we've responded very, very well indeed. We've beat Tranmere, we've beat Stevenage. We drew against Rochdale. We actually we're down to 10 men from 41 minutes. Jack Moylan got sent off for a horror tackle, it must be said. Even I were wincing at it. McKamer got the only goal as we beat Scunthorpe. And then we have just stuffed Doncaster Rovers, leading us in to this game against Barrow. I'm excited for this one because, to be fair, I think this is the best squad we've had so far. And this formation seems to be working very, very well indeed. So this is a team that's going to start. We are rotating a little bit at the moment. But Dewhurst in goal, Bardell, Chaplin and Hull back in the side. Thunder on left wing back. Brooks playing as a defensive midfielder. Wadham is just come back to full match fitness, but he's only really got 60 minutes in him at the moment. So we're just going to nurse him back in. Brooks is doing a very nice job there. Berry and Robson are the midfield two. Robson coming in for Louis Marsh, who's a bit knackered at this moment in time. Brennan on the right, Derry on the left with Adi Koya starting up front. Michael Smith will get his chance from the bench. We've just beat Doncaster 6-0. I couldn't really change much of that team. We've left most of them in as we go up against Jack Coke's Barrow side, who are languishing down in 17th at the moment. To bring you up to date with a few managerial transfer rumours, we have been touted for the Huddersfield job. Didn't go to the interview. Huddersfield not quite where I wanted to be, and I'm to be honest with you, I'm so enjoying it. It's at Scunthorpe at the moment. There is one job, and it is the Sheffield United job. You know I'm a Sheffield United fan. If that job comes up, which it may do, it we're looking precarious at one bit for the manager. We're down in 23rd, which I'm not being funny. He shouldn't be with that squad in the Championship. We were keeping an eye on the situation. We still are keeping an eye on that situation. If that job comes up, it's going to be very hard to turn down. But at this moment in time, we're enjoying us time at Scunthorpe. They did offer us a new 3-year deal, which we actually turned down because I felt that it wasn't that big a pay rise. And for a 3-year contract, if we get promoted this season, not only are we going to have probably bigger job offers, but I would expect a decent pay rise. So at this moment in time, we're happy with where we are, but we're not ruling out possibly a crack at Sheffield United as Derry goes into Chaplin. We've started well here like we do in most games at the moment. But Adi Koya is getting his chance. Berry was rested for the Doncaster game as he goes very, very close indeed. It's in the bar. We do seem to have a thing with it in the woodwork this season. I watched us in a game, I think it was against Stockport. We hit the post 4 times. Michael Smith hit it 3 times. And I know what you're thinking. The net's big enough. But he has shown he's on 10 goals this season again, is Michael Smith. And to be honest with you, I'm thinking he's probably going to come on at half-time along with Wadham. But Brooks does have a free kick, which he plays short to Adam Berry, who fires over. Barrow proving a stern test to break down at this moment. It must be said, I'm more looking at the team in 4th at this moment, the gap to them, rather than being top of the league. If we can get a nice gap, we've got an FA Cup game first round coming up against Wigan after this one, which is going to be an interesting game for us. We possibly could get knocked out of the FA Cup early. We need to improve. Luke Brennan is a little bit stressed. He's not playing particularly well either, is Luke Brennan. So we're going to bring on Jesse Derry. We're also going to bring on McKamer on the left-hand side. And I think it's probably a good time to bring on that man, Michael Smith, at half-time. Just freshen it up a bit up front. I think we can cause these a few more problems than we possibly are doing at this moment in time. We've still got Louis Marsh on the bench should we need to bring him on as Brooks goes long towards McKamer, who beats Whelan. Pure strength. 6'5", crosses the ball in. There is Michael Smith, and Aluwu concedes the corner. But Wadham coming, McKamer on that left-hand side, absolutely brilliant. He's so strong, so big. He causes so many problems for fullbacks, probably different problems than what they are used to. And it's worked so well for us this season. He's scored a fair few goals. In fact, I can probably tell you if we don't get another highlight, as Bardell chucks it long in towards Michael Smith. Derry wins the follow-up header, but Beach claims that no problem at all. He's scored a fair few goals as McKamer from that left-hand side. Just causes a fair bit of bother, which I like to see. I like to see us causing some bother. As Aluwu goes into Valentine, you can see us trying to press there and win the ball back. But Whelan will go into Valentine again. He's got I keep forgetting his name, McKamer and Tatunda going for it, but Chaplin will bring that down easily at the back and play it into Robson. Robson's a player I'm trying to get a little bit more involved because I think he's got a lot of quality and we're just not getting the chance to see it at times as Derry goes in towards Michael Smith at the back post and it's just over the bar again. We are creating chances left, right and centre here, but just not quite getting the goals as we offer a little bit of encouragement to the boys. And I think we're probably going to go a little bit more attacking should this highlight not yield a goal for us, as Hull goes all the way back to Marcus Dewhurst, who it must be said looks like he's enjoying himself a little bit more this season. As we go into Max Robson now on the half turn, down to Derry. Down the right-hand side. Can he get the ball in? He certainly can. And there is McKamer at the back stick. And this time Beach does manage to hold on to it. We are creating all the chances at this moment in time. But Barrow somehow just keeping us at arm's length. You wouldn't say we've had a massive clear-cut chance at this moment. As Bardell wins that well into Max Robson. Now Berry to Tonda's overlapping. Robson, Michael Smith strikes it well, and Beach makes another good save. My word, this goalkeeper's on a one-man mission at the moment. Berry will take the corner. And Adam Berry crosses it in right-footed. It's going to go all the way to the back snake. And there is Beach again. He is making it look very, very easy at this moment in time. Is the Barrow goalkeeper. They have had one shot, which has not been on target. And we have just not managed to put those finishing touches in at this moment in time. We may, as we tick up towards 80 minutes, may look to chuck another striker on just to cause them a little bit of a different problem as Chaplin and McKamer get it sorted out between them. Now Bardell will bring it down and go in towards Robson, into Brooks. I'm assuming he's going to go into Berry, who looks like he's very much on the half turn. Plays it forward to Michael Smith, back into Robson. We are playing some lovely football this season at Scunthorpe. A different style, but it's working well as Tatonda goes for the strike. Falls to McKamer, and Jovan McKamer gets his 8th goal of the season. Him and Smith have got 18 goals between them at this moment in time, and you've seen why during this episode. Certainly in this game, Tatonda went for a more speculative shot. He got it onto his left foot, hit it well. Good block by Oluwu. Falls to McKamer, and he makes no mistake. Scunthorpe 1, Barrow 0, and that will be a nice time for us to bring on Jack Wadham at defensive midfield. He does just give us something a little bit different, Wadham. I like how he defends. They've got a free kick which they hit over the bar. Wadham, he's one of my favourite players in the squad at the moment. He sits back, he defends well. He's a player I've really, really enjoyed having at the club as we go a little bit longer there towards Michael Smith, who does win the flick on. But now we are starting to see Barrow have a little bit more of the ball, a little bit more possession. Oh, Adam Berry so nearly won that. It's in to Rowett. And Barrow going to get the most undeserved of equalisers. It must be said they've not had a sniff for 87 minutes apart from that speculative free kick. But they are putting a little bit of possession together here as Tatonda deals with that very well. Goes into Chaplin, who then knocks it long again towards Smith. Then Robson. Berry tries to get through the middle. It will now be Chaplin. We are trying to get the ball down, and Derry does particularly well. Sprays it out to McKamer. He's got Tatonda overlapping down the left. Now Max Robson looks to play it into Derry. That is a lovely ball from Robson. A lovely ball from Robson. And Derry gets the goal. And this is what Robson can do. He has got that. One of his traits is trying little killer balls. And my word, that was a beautiful little ball through the Barrow defence. Let's just have a look here. Weighs up his options. It's not looking obvious. And he spots the run from Derry, who finishes it with aplomb. And that is Scunthorpe 2, Barrow 0. We are top of the league. Rings out around Glanford Park as Hull goes into Adam Berry. Are we going to get a third and really put the icing on top of the cake, or are we're going to give a goal away? It's into Edmondson. Now Valentine down the right-hand side. It's into Garner, who should do better. Must be said, that's the best chance of the game for Barrow. They will now have a corner, which we've got to defend, which we do very well as Robson clears it up towards halfway. And now Derry. He has got pace. He has got a talent. He goes all the way back to Tatonda. Will take his time. Go down the left-hand side. He's looking for options, is Tatonda, but gives it away to Valentine. Berry steps in well, and look, there is Wadham. Just tidying up at the back, making sure we're all comfortable as now Jake Hull goes forward long, and we are playing a few more longer passes in this second half. It must be said, Barrow look to come forward again. Tatonda gives chase and doesn't quite get it into touch. Valentine once again in towards Edmondson. Now Maguire. We are inviting Barrow onto us a little bit here, it must be said. Valentine in towards Rowett. He does get the goal, but it is offside, and it's a good line from that Scunthorpe defence. We will, I mean, we don't really need to do this, but we'll just go a little bit more disciplined for the last couple of minutes, because we do seem to have been a little more comfortable in giving the ball away towards the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes as Bardell goes into Robson, now into Derry. And Derry will look to take on his fullback, but can't. I mean, Barrow may be thinking, why didn't we come and have a go here? Because this last sort of 10, 15 minutes, they've certainly been in the game. Which, I mean, if we look at this, they're coming forward again. Rowett now down our right-hand side, strikes it over the bar. They do very much lack a little bit of quality, do Barrow, it must be said. But that is another win at Glanford Park. I mean, according to the stats, we were just totally different class. And I would be inclined to agree with that. So we end the episode on 15 games. We are top of the league on 35 points. It must be said, in terms of League 2 this season, we've got the 2 top scorers, by the way. Towards the bottom, there are a couple of really bad teams in Gillingham and Stevenage. So that is something to be aware of. But schedule-wise now, we're going to play Wigan. We might get knocked out of the FA Cup. I'm going to come back towards the end of December, possibly January. Cheltenham and Rochdale looks a nice little bit of content for us. So we'll come back then next weekend. But apart from that, guys, it has been a pleasure this episode. We're having a really good start to the season. We are wanted by Ipswich, by the sounds of things. Where are Ipswich? Just to show you the extent of teams that are out of without a manager at this moment. Ipswich, where are Ipswich at the moment? I can't see Ipswich there. They're 21st in the Championship, Ipswich. Obviously a club with a great history. Something that we possibly could look at, but I really don't want to leave this Scunthorpe team unless Sheffield United come knocking, because that is probably the one job at this moment that I couldn't turn down. Please do like and subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one. Ta-ra!